Early this morning in Pokemon Legends ZA, I decided I was going to catch a Beldum in a heavy ball. And for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I'm not kidding you, for 4 hours, I threw a heavy ball at a Beldum, watched it break out, and then reset my game. Over and over and over again. And so I looked it up. And it is a 0.03 chance to catch a Beldum in a heavy ball, even at 0 HP. And I thought to myself, what else could I do right now that would feel like this much of a waste of time? So I decided to check on what Kaitlin Bennett has been up to. And surprise, surprise, she is just as annoying as she has always been. The beginning of this story is a little bit of a lie. I didn't go out looking for Kaitlin myself. Instead, she ended up on my Twitter FYP with a clip that she uploaded to her own Instagram that goes like this.
Members.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses.
Caitlin's Instagram bio reads, Mother, Catholic, Wife, Face of Liberty Hangout. Nowhere in that bio does it say professionally annoying, but that's kind of all she is. Kaitlin, you are 30. You're 30, you are 30, you are 30. This isn't me saying that you're old. This is me saying you're too old to just be antagonizing people, specifically older people, protesting peacefully for fun. That's annoying.
As you can see, this is what a little conservative girl has to have with her to have a dialogue with liberals these days, unfortunately, but I just have too much fun doing this.
And you have nothing better to do? She is finding ways to bring up Charlie Kirk to people who probably only know him because he goes viral for saying terrible and awful mean things. Charlie Kirk is not someone Kaitlin Bennett even had a good relationship with. She was kicked out of the Turning Point USA chapter she was a part of. And after he died, she made multiple videos, including the left's rhetoric needs to stop. Dear Charlie, I owe you everything. Thank you, Charlie. Taking advantage of the man's death for views. Oh, I missed one. Democrats get nasty about Charlie Kirk. It has been a month, and the way that she has chosen to remember the man's legacy is by farming him for clicks. The only person I'm convinced that knew Charlie Kirk and is in any way mourning his death is Candace Owens. Everyone in politics was fake and gay, but at least we had hip hop. Don't know how to spell Nicki Minaj. Candace Owens. Don't look at me like that, alright? Lee is a light mode user. I'm not going to change any of her settings. Think whatever you want of Charlie Kirk. I'm personally not a fan. I think I've made that pretty clear. I do think it's weird how all of his friends decided to farm his death for views and attention. That is all I've seen constantly from all of them, including his wife, except for Candace Owens. She seems to be the only one who in any way actually mourned. And that's weird. That's just straight weird. Regardless of the politics of any of it, if I died today and the only person mourning my death was one of my Twitch friends, not my partner, not my IRL friends, not my sister, just one of my Twitch friends, that would be weird. But that's not why we're here. We're here because Kaitlin decides to just upload videos of her antagonizing people so that she can victimize herself. So that she can say stuff like, me and Charlie Kirk do the same thing. You want what happened to him to happen to me?
Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be glad if I would die?
I do the exact same thing. I go to places where I'm not welcome and I antagonize people under the guise of pretending to have conversation. Would you be happy if what happened to him happened to me as well? This is where I bring back why I said you're 30 and a mom. Go be a mom. And I say that not because I'm like, oh, women. No, absolutely not. I say that because if you're afraid in any way that what happened to Charlie Kirk might happen to you, why wouldn't you instead want to just spend time with your kids, with your husband, who you made one video cooking for and said, the left hates me because I cook? If I was afraid for my life, you know what I wouldn't do? Leave the house and antagonize people. I would spend time with my partner and finish the Legends ZA story. I'm currently rank B, I'm pretty close. And I found a full odd shiny Gibble last night. But the last thing I would do is go out in public and say, I'm like Kirk, I'm like Charlie Kirk. Hope nobody shoots me. I don't get it. And I really just would not want something to happen to me that my kids could pull up one day and go, oh, it's kind of weird that my mom did that. That's how she died. She died antagonizing people on the street. And this older woman at a peaceful protest, just like the right says these people can't do. It's just minding her business, doing her constitutionally granted right. If you're one of the God Equals America people, doing her God-given right of protesting, minding her own business, just doing what she's allowed to do, not impeding traffic, not getting in anyone's way, just holding a sign, trying to be a person. And you're going to antagonize her, and you're not going to get a response that you like, because the response you get is maybe.
I'd have to think about it.
I'd have to think about it. So you want what happened to Charlie Kirk to happen to little me, this little Republican girl? Not even my quote.
This is what a little conservative girl has to have with her.
And then she posts stuff like this. The only way to safely have a dialogue as a conservative in 2025. 3 random men behind her. Your diaper changing crew. If she is so afraid of what happened to Charlie happening to her, does she think 3 bodies behind her are gonna stop it? I'm not saying it would happen, and I'm definitely not saying it should happen. I'm saying it's weird for her to walk around antagonizing people, pretending that what happened to him is gonna happen to her just because they do similar things. You're an annoying white girl. Most of your videos are you going, oh, they can't even answer me, dude. They can't even answer me. That's because they don't want to. At this point, I hope most of us have learned that the only way to get you to stop talking is by not talking back to you.
What, if she would die? I don't know.
Excuse me?
No, I don't know you, but I didn't know him either. But he was not a good person.
He would go to college campuses.
And
he would
why do
go
you
to
think he got shot? Because he wasn't a good person.
Damn, dude, don't you just hate when old women tell you the truth? What I think is weird is how she posted this to her own Instagram. Like, it made her look like she's the good guy. She posted it because it victimized her, right? Because it made her a victim. Because she said, wow, look how angry this old lady is. Wow, she's gonna do to me what they did to Charlie Kirk. But is she? Like, she was just protesting, mind your own business. You annoyed her. There is no amount of, hey, leave me alone. Hey, stop talking to me. Hey, do you mind if I just do this over here? Anyone can do to you for you to actually leave them alone. And so if you're going to bother people to the point of harassment over and over and over again, I get when they turn around and go, dude, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I probably care about Charlie Kirk more than Kaitlin Bennett did, just because I'm not using his name for clicks. Just because I'm not willing to drag around his corpse and go, look what they did to my friend.
We do the exact same thing that he does.
Well, that's what
I
you're
believe,
doing right now,
actually,
too.
I believe, and he is a moderate compared to me.
I'm worse than Charlie Kirk. Is that the flex you're looking for? You are worse than Charlie Kirk, so you are surprised when people are not sympathetic towards him, because that means they are not going to be sympathetic towards you. She's doing the thing. She's doing the conservative white woman thing, where she just puts a target on her own forehead and goes, damn, they're really coming after me.
I'd have to think about it. What, if she would?
I had to replay the clip because Instagram doesn't let you just like scroll, and it's just so funny how gasped Kaitlin is like, whoa, you wish bad things would happen to bad people? I'm a bad person. Do you wish bad things would happen to me? Maybe. Gasp. Ah. Oh boy.
He is a moderate compared to me. You would be happy if I got shot on a public college campus?
Okay, no, baby, no.
You have got to watch the things you say.
Someone on Twitter said that the reason she has to like yell at old people is because if she tries with Gen Z or like someone in their 20s, they're just gonna be like, didn't you poop yourself? Because of the meme where Kaitlin Bennett pooped herself. And so now she has to talk to people who don't know who she is. But that woman is telling other people to watch their mouths. You know who probably could have saved their own life by watching their mouth?
Yeah, that's disgusting. Don't point my finger at her, ma'am. You have got to watch the things you say.
This is what they want, right? They want to antagonize, bother, harass people until they get some sort of clip. Until the people they're harassing respond to their harassment and they go, damn, so much for the liberal, woke left. Being tolerant means you're supposed to let me yell at you and not yell at me back. If I wanted someone to yell at me, I'd go home to my husband, right?
You're a horrible person yourself. And point your finger in my face and coming to this peaceful demonstration. Why would you, and put it in my face.
Go down the road here.
I am utterly speechless right now.
All she wanted was to be left alone. Like, I just don't get it. I'm going to say, I don't understand who this content is for. I really don't. Like, this is obviously stupid as a whole, right? To just show up somewhere where people are peacefully protesting something that they don't agree with. Even if they weren't peacefully protesting. To show up somewhere where people are protesting something they don't agree with, and to just antagonize people for the sake of making them angry. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. The other side of this is people like Jordan Klepper from The Daily Show going to Trump rallies or conservative rallies in general and interviewing people, saying stuff like, oh, you don't believe that we should change the Constitution, right? And they say something like, no. God wrote the Constitution. It's in the Bible. Therefore, it should never be changed. And so Jordan will say something like, oh, so we should just get rid of all the changes made to the Constitution since it was written. And they'll respond with something like, yes, every one of those liberal changes should be abolished. And so Jordan's like, all right, so let's get rid of the amendments, like the Second Amendment. And they're like, no, God put that there. That's in the original. Then they have to explain what an amendment is. And the conservatives are always like, I just want the Constitution to be whatever God wrote. That's the other side of this. They're usually not anyone yelling at anyone. It's antagonistic in a different way. Whereas Kaitlin Bennett is, I'm not touching you. People like Jordan just like making people look dumb. Regardless, I don't enjoy either of them. I don't want to watch people like Kaitlin, people like Charlie, people like that entire side of media, because it's just infuriating. What is so wrong with you that you just want to bother people? You're older than I am. You have kids. You probably made more than enough money to stop. And then the side of people like Jordan, I get more so why people watch it, but even then I don't like it because it just reminds me how much of this country doesn't understand any of what it is they're voting against. And that doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to be smart. I don't want to be smarter than anyone else. I don't ever want to be the smartest person in any room I'm in. And so seeing people like this who are just voting against what's best for them, and definitely the people around them, just hurts.
Let this be proof right now. These people are not peaceful. Just because they're not actually committing physical acts of violence right now, they would celebrate if you died.
And that's just stupid. It's a bunch of people who are peacefully protesting, again, just wanting to be left alone. You antagonize them, and when you get the exact answer you're looking for, you say, they're violent. When you're one of us, when you're one of the people, when you're one of God's children, they want you dead. Hate them, while you're the one inciting any sort of altercation. When the two things that you are known for are one, walking around your college campus with an AR-15, and two, a meme about you having pooped yourself at a college party, you should probably just get off the internet.
If you believe even a modicum of what Charlie Kirk believed in, if you have dialogue like that, if you want to go out there and talk to people about any issue that they even want to bring to you to talk about, they'll celebrate your death.
I'm going to assume that my dad's sisters, of which he has 3, I've never met any of them, but they've all added me on Facebook. I'm going to assume that none of them know who my dad was to me, my sister, and my mom growing up. I'm going to assume that none of them know that he was incredibly physically abusive. I'm going to assume that they don't even know that he was arrested for domestic violence and spent 4 of my childhood years in jail. I probably won't know when he dies, but when I find out about it, I'm not going to be sad about it. They might, and I'll understand that. But if they ask me if I am, and I say no, and I explain why, and then they follow it with something like, no, you have to be sad. He was your dad. He was a human being. He was whatever. No, I'm not someone who's happy, period. So I won't be happy about it, but I'm not going to cry about it. I'm good. And so when we extend that to the world, and all of us just being strangers, we're supposed to be sad about strangers dying, specifically strangers who would have clapped at us dying, specifically strangers who post every year on the anniversary of George Floyd being murdered, hey, he's 4 years drug-free. I don't get it. And I don't get why you're so concerned with bringing it up again if it's not just for clicks and to make yourself feel better and to victimize yourself. That's all it is, right? She brings it up because if it could happen to him, it could happen to me. Feel bad for me. That's just such a dumb way to try to make yourself relevant, I guess.
Ashamed of yourself.
You know what? As you can see, this is what a little conservative girl has to have with her to have a dialogue with liberals these days, unfortunately. But
Dog, you're 30. You're not a little conservative girl. You're 30. You're a mother. I'm not a little boy. I'm 28. You're older than I am. That's so weird. I hate everything about that.
We make it happen because they're not going to intimidate me or stop me, and I just have too much fun doing this.
They're not going to intimidate me by peacefully protesting something that has nothing to do with me, and also they don't know who I am. I have too much fun being an for all of them. So I'm going to keep doing so. And that's all it is. It is fun. It is attention. It is money. And she is going to keep doing it. Disgusting. Something that did not make it into the Instagram clip, but I did see on Twitter, is the ending where
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
Whatever his name was.
I don't know what she expected, but I don't think it was an older woman just laughing at her. Who cares, dog? Something that I've never thought about too much is legacy. About how it is I want to be remembered when I die, whether that's tomorrow or when I'm at the old age of 34. And I've thought often about how little it has to do with me. Whether or not people choose to remember me at all is kind of out of my control once I'm dead. And I had to decide whether or not I cared. And for a long time, and even mostly still now, I didn't care. I'll be dead. I don't think it's going to hurt my feelings if it turns out nobody liked me. I won't have the feelings to feel at that point. And then the Charlie Kirk thing happened. And I watched as all of his friends, wife, used his memory to just advance their own careers and agendas. And I didn't like the guy. I was not saddened by the news in any way. But it was so weird to just see the response. It was just so weird to see everybody, again, except Candace Owens, respond by using his name in vain. And so now every time one of these people pops up on my FYP, I think to myself, how will they be remembered immediately after their death? And Kaitlin, antagonizing, annoying gun girl who pooped herself. I think that is how 95% of the internet that knows about her is going to remember her. And she's just making it worse. I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for spending time with me. I'm still unsure about how much or how little I care about how much I'll be remembered when I'm dead. I don't think I want to be remembered in any real way. I'm good. I think that once I'm gone, and if no one ever brings me up again, I won't be sad. But at the very least, I don't want to be remembered as a bad person. As someone whose entire being was just making other people's days worse. I want to be loved, and I want to be loved in my dying breaths. And after that, I'm so good if no one cares enough to remember me again. If when I die, anyone goes, good, glad, okay, I'll take it, that's fine. I don't ever want to give anyone a reason to feel that way. And if that means not going out on the street, trying to bait older people into giving me something I can put on the internet for clicks, if that means not farming drama for YouTube views, if that means cutting off every person I've met who turns out to be a bad person, whether that's racist or physically abusive, whatever it is, done, easy. I don't understand what part of you thinks it's fun to ruin other people's days, but maybe it's a good thing I don't understand, and I don't ever want to be one of those people. So thank you for spending time with me. This is my favorite thing to do. You're my favorite people to do it with. I'm glad I'm not Kaitlin Bennett. I'm glad none of you are Kaitlin Bennett. Don't be Kaitlin Bennett. You don't have to be nice to everyone, but I hope that you are at least trying to be a nice person. And I'll leave it there. Also, if anyone knows how to shiny hunt on ZA, I don't want to watch a video because I don't want to ruin the story yet, but I need to know if I'm just like sitting on the bench resetting for Pokemon or what's going on. Follow me on Twitter for no real reason. Join the Discord if you want to just hang out. I talk a lot in there. I also am giving ZA updates. That's going to be it for me. All right, get out of here. Now I'm inciting violence. Goodbye.